investigators.
This has created an impression upon audiences in which these private investigators always wear coats and a hat, and they are able to easily solve cases with just a strand of hair. But then again, that's not how it always works now, doesn't it? So, how do private investigators actually work in real life? And in Malaysia, what do they do? Let's find out. Okay, we are now here with Wan Zairi, also known as Part 1. Now, he has been in the field of investigation for at least 13 years. Thank you for coming with us for this interview. So, tell us a bit more about yourself.
I'm the managing consultant of my private eye consulting in Malaysia. In this company, our services is that we provide private investigation services. So our services can be ranging from various types of investigation, such as surveillance measure, due diligence check, background checking, pre-employment screening. You just name it, whatever that is concerned of investigation, then we'll be doing it.
How did you join this field?
Actually, I started my career in the police force. It was 13 years back. Okay. I was in the police for about 6 years, and all the while I was in the force doing criminal investigation works. Then I joined the corporate world, where I also did the investigation work, but in a different set of environment, in a corporate setting. Then after that, I decided to set my own company. Yeah. So as you can see that from the early stage of my career span, I was involved in this investigation. So I'm just doing what I know.
In Malaysia, the basic requirements to become a private investigator is that the individual must first obtain a license from the government, as stated in the Private Agencies Act 1971. There are no requirements academic-wise to become a private investigator. However, certain degrees in criminal justice fields are very helpful, but not required. However, if one wishes to become a good private investigator, they must first obtain the knowledge and the skills used by real-world detectives. What kind of skills and training does someone need if they want to be a private investigator?
Actually, in private investigations works, it requires a skill in surveillance jobs, intelligence gathering, meaning intelligence gathering is that you gather information, how you gather info, how you cross-checking on the information that you have, and how do you vet through your information. And of course, in order to get information, you have to have a huge network. And then another one is how to do report writing. Yeah. In order for you to acquire surveillance skills, there's no university who can teach that. I was from the police, and I know people who have been doing this job for 30 years, and they are still learning. And of course, the more seasoned you are, the more experienced you are. And to be an intelligence gathering, it is not a short-term process. Of course, you have to learn how to recruit sources. You have to learn how to maintain your resources. Also, of course, you have to learn how to retain your resources. So all this, if you want to start, you have to start fresh. Maybe you can be a junior private investigator, and then later on, as you acquire all these skills throughout the years, maybe you can be more and more skillful in all these particular areas that you need.
Private investigators in Malaysia find facts and analyze information about financial, legal, and personal matters. They offer many services, from verifying people's backgrounds, cheating spouse investigations, finding missing people, and computer crime investigations. But how do they do it? Let's find out. How does it all work? What kind of methods do you use in your cases?
Actually, there's no such specific method that I can explain, but it is a very simple process actually. people out there, they have a lot of their problems, you know, they have their affairs outside. And then normally people will come to us with their problems. And also, of course, when they come to us with their problems, they have certain objective to achieve. And then we, as a consultant, as an investigator, what we will do is that we will try to understand their situation, their problems, and then from the angle of investigations perspective, we will try to provide solutions to them. Okay. After we have discussed with them on the way forward and the plan that we will be doing for them, then of course we will execute the plan as they want, as they agreed, and then hopefully that the result will be good for us and also for them. Yeah.
What kind of investigations do you do?
In essence, I can say that we carry out two types of investigation. The first one is open investigation, and the second one is covert investigations. What does it mean by covert investigation is that we carry out investigation without the people who are being investigated know that we are investigating on them. And for open investigation, it is an investigation where we carry out with the knowledge of the people who are being investigated, meaning that they know that they are under investigation. So covert investigation, normally it will involve multiple measures. Okay? It will involve surveillance measure, it will involve intelligence gathering, and also it will involve some other covert measures that we think is necessary for us to complete the covert investigation process. But in an open investigation, it is a little bit different, but sometimes it can also include covert measures to assist the investigation, the open investigation. For open investigation, normally what will you do? The process is that you will be taking statements from the witnesses, from the people who can give information, and also you sometimes you will be required to do document gathering, document review, document analysis in order for you to gather evidence. And the last stage of this particular open investigation is that you do your report writing. Why do you do report writing? Is because that you want to convey what is your findings to the people who have the interest to know about the investigation, the open investigation. It may be used in a court proceeding, it may be used in a civil court proceeding, and also you may end up in testifying in court of what you have found during the investigation process. That is the major types of investigation that we do in private investigation industry.
This is a camera SLR, and also among other equipment that being used in our covert operation. Everybody can carry SLR nowadays, so it's no longer a covert equipment. The other gadget, which is a must, is a communication device to communicate for our operation. These two walkie-talkie carries different value of range, which this one is point to point. So this point to point is also a very common item. Almost everybody can use this. This point to point walkie-talkie only covered for 3 kilometer radius, whereby this one is a trunk radio. We can communicate rainy, sunshine, you can use, and it is a trunk which is covered for nationwide. And sometimes when we are on foot, it is not conducive, it is not practical to carry a bulky thing. To put inside your pocket also, it looks funny, so we use the headset. Headset can be anything, maybe it's a handphone, maybe an iPod, so it can become a covert. It's already a decoy item.
This is a GPS tracker. Normally
it will assist us in doing our surveillance job. This is a device where we will put it under any vehicles, whether it is a lorry, whether it is a car, and then from there we will be tracking the vehicles using our computer, and this device is attached to the car. So it can stand for about 2 months time if the car moves around 2 or 3 hours per day. This is a very durable device, and it can stick the magnetic shield with worth of 80 pounds magnetic shield. So no need for you to worry about it getting fall off from the vehicles. What they call the DVR camera. Normally we will use it when we want to set an observation post without any people manning it. A standalone observation post without people manning it. So no people over there. So you just stick it to the wall or to a place which is strategic. This is a motion detect camera. It will record only when they identify any movement. Trail cam. This one is for outdoor usage. So it is suitable when you want to snap pictures covertly inside a jungle, a woods, maybe bushes. So we will use this one. You can see from the housing also, it is very covert in nature. Normally people in National Geographic, they will use this also. This is also suitable for an observation post without people manning it, because it is a motion detect and the battery can last for a week.
So, do you still think they're just men in coats? Private investigators must blend in with people to learn what they must find. Their tool is the network they have to gain all the information they need. People want truth, and that's what these detectives will give you. Though, it could be dangerous doing whatever you can to find out the truth. Do you think you have what it takes to be a private investigator? Do you want to be the next Sherlock?
Everything you know about us from the movie, just leave it in the movie. Don't judge us until you know us better.